Hello, I'm the GBA guy, and today I'm bringing you my top 5 favorite Game Boy Advance titles. There will be a bunch of personal bias in this list, but I will limit my list to one game per franchise. And without any further ado, number 5! When most people think of a Zelda game, they usually think of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, or Wind Waker. I, however, think of the Minish Cap, mostly because it was the first Zelda game I really got to play through. I know it's not the best, but I do like it equally as well as some of the other games. The gameplay itself is pretty standard for a Zelda game. You go through the dungeons, you complete all the tasks, nothing big. But when deciding which of the Game Boy Advance Zelda titles to pick through, it was basically between Minish Cap or the port of Link to the Past. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Link to the Past is a bad game. I just preferred the better sprites in the Minish Cap and the kind of more adventurous side of being able to shrink down to Picori size, which I thought was an interesting part to the game. While it may not be most people's favorite Legend of Zelda game, it rates pretty high on my list, and I would suggest for you to check it out as well, if you haven't already done so. This is a great game, but it can only be one-upped by the next item on our list. Number 4! Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. This game just looks really nice. I mean, it plays nice as well as it looks. I mean, really, these backgrounds look amazing. I mean, it's even just fluid to play. I mean, I could go right through here. It's quick to play, level's fun. It's so easy. I mean, the other competitor for this on this spot would be Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, but I personally just don't like that one. It has too much of a maze-like system where it just is really hard to play through that because you don't have a level and it gets really confusing because it's way too much of a maze. Unlike this, it's just straightforward. Here's a level, move on. Next level, move on. Here's a mini game, move on. Oh, the mini games, they're fun in here too. As far as difficulty goes for this game, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's a few times where you can just get annoyed, or the levels just will drive you nuts trying to get through it, because there will be an occasional one boss that is just really hard to beat. But it challenges you to get more experience with this game and get used to it. It's just a pretty good game. I could go through this for a good few hours and be entertained. And I think a bunch of other people are too. It's standard Kirby gameplay, and it's on a portable device. That's what I love about the Game Boy. Number 3! Mega Man 02. The Mega Man Zero series is one of the more overlooked series of the Mega Man games. It was just on the Game Boy, and some newer audiences might not know about this game. I like it. It focuses on Zero, but still shows some of the other characters, such as X, who makes an appearance as somewhat of a spoiler here, a cyber elf in the game, which I think is pretty cool because it kind of makes them all Jedi Spirit-like. I also like the graphics of this game. They just look great. I love how some of the things in this game, like the shrubbery in one level, you can actually set on fire using your saber, going with an up attack, using the fire element. I just like that, it looks cool. I also really love the cutscenes in this game. They just look really, really cool. I think it complements the great graphics. I mean, just look at that. That looks pretty damn cool. I also really like the weapons. I mean, it's the same weapons basically from the first Mega Man Zero game, but I like it. If you haven't tried this series, I would definitely recommend playing these games. I would find them somewhere and just enjoy these. These are really good. Number 2, Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. While yes, this is a port of Super Mario Bros. 3, what a great port this game is. The graphics were greatly improved over that of its NES counterpart. I mean, they just look great. And the gameplay was enhanced. They add extra features, like the e-card system, even though I never used that. They also included the original Mario arcade game. And I really loved how this was on a portable system. I could play this anywhere. I could play this in the car. I could play this up late at night. I could play this in school, which I have. I really love this game. It was really close to being my number 1 pick, because I've personally unlocked every level, beaten the game, and I have 500 extra lives. Yes, an even 500. I've done this through using a feature, Return to Menu, which you can get after beating the game. I also know this game inside and out. It's just really great. And if I can get that with a game, it just has a ton of replay value, and it makes it so much better than other Game Boy Advance games, because it's just awesome to me, and I'm always going to like that about this. I've spent many hours playing this game, and I still will. Now to my honorable mentions. Let's start off with these games that I liked, and I really do like, but I didn't have room for on my list. Number 1, Pokemon Emerald. This is my favorite game, both on the Game Boy Advanced and of all time. To me, this is the ideal Pokemon game. It combines the best elements of Ruby and Sapphire while still bringing new elements to it, like actually being able to catch Rayquaza and all of these other legendaries like the Reggies. Also, as a Gen 3 game, it still makes it possible to catch all the Pokemon, which after starting about Gen 4, it got much harder and or easier considering the online trading. It was also really the last Pokemon game without internet connectivity, which I feel like it made more of a challenge. I also really like the graphics of these games. I think they're really respectable. These graphics are really great, and as you can see on my channel logo, it's a Game Boy player from this game. I really love the 3rd generation Pokemon, and I still can't wait for the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. Those are my top 5 favorite Game Boy Advance titles. You may not agree with everything on my list, but hey, that's just my opinion. I'm the GBA guy, and right now I'm powering off my Game Boy, and I will see you next time.